It's what?
The man's got a MAGA hat on.
He's wearing a MAGA hat.
Oh my god, he's wearing a MAGA.
He's wearing a MAGA hat.
Panic.
Everyone panic.
What's a MAGA hat?
What's a MAGA hat? Make America great again, Donald Trump.
Who's that?
Who's Donald Trump?
No, who's got a MAGA hat?
The man in the pub.
Oh.
Hi, idiots and MAGA. From a German perspective, I want to say thank you guys for being the new embarrassing ones on earth. We handed you a blueprint on a silver platter of what not to do, and you motherfuckers did it, and you're doing it with style, exposing yourselves for the evil people that you are, and exposing your country and generations to come to ridicule and embarrassment and shame. Aber vielen Dank, because now Germans, we look like the normal ones again. Like, we fucked up, yes, but you guys like saw that and were like, let's do it. Like, idiots. I never want to hear another American shit on Germany again. I'll never take it. The nation's doing nothing to help its people, and MAGA's all for it. Idioten. You guys suck. Thank you. We're no longer the bad guys.
This tip is fantastic, and here we go. 5 tips to avoid looking like the ugly American. Number 1, don't wear MAGA gear outside of the United States. Well, you might think that in the United States, you are making an important political statement. When you wear MAGA gear outside of the United States, it's incredibly offensive and insulting, and oftentimes even threatening, and makes people feel unsafe in your presence. Leave your MAGA gear for your friend groups at home. Number 2, starting a conversation with, "Do you speak English?" is rude. You start with, "Hello, how are you? Do you speak English?" If you can say it in the native language, that is even more polite. Try to learn that phrase. Watch your volume. Americans speak at a louder volume than people in other countries. Keep your voice low and have people sit closer to you. Your conversation is for your immediate group. Number 4, you are welcome to wear anything you want, but going out and about in Europe in athleisure, or looking sloppy, or wearing your flip-flops is going to make people think that you don't have the money to be in the establishment you're visiting, and you're not going to get the same level of attention or service because people are thinking you're probably going to try to cheat them. So look the part if you want to be treated as a person who belongs in the space that you're visiting. And number 5, don't make loud comparisons that are disfavorable as you're out and about. It's perfectly fine to say, "Oh, the bread here is so much fresher." If you have a complaint, save it for when you are back in your hotel and share it quietly amongst your group. Nobody likes it when you visit their home and critique it.
US News won't show you this, but I will. This is from a weekly French news magazine, Le Point. The title says, "The Man from Moscow." Below that, the subheadline states, "Putin and Trump, the alliance of predators." It's also important to note that this news magazine has a reputation for being center-right. This is a magazine that tends to support conservative values. In this article, the author goes on to compare Donald Trump's presidency to a geopolitical earthquake, even comparing it to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. And the author makes a pretty strong stance that Europe as a whole can no longer rely on the United States for security and stability. It then compares the United States' proposed offer of more continued support in exchange for valuable minerals from Ukraine as financial extortion. The article makes it clear you can still believe in self-reliance and strong defense without blindly following one dangerous leader. Even European conservatives are saying this, pushing for independence while still calling out this dangerous alignment between Donald Trump and Putin.
Why are you here today?
I've come 300 miles from Newcastle because I felt strongly enough that Trump shouldn't be given a state visit. He's a convicted felon. I'm dressed as the Handmaid's Tale to show how much he's eroded women's rights. And I don't want those values to come over here. I'm sure all your viewers have got wives, sisters, daughters, and they wouldn't want their rights to be eroded either. He's also eroding migrant rights, trans, gay, and he shouldn't be given the airtime, and he shouldn't be here.
Hello everyone, it's Anthony, chilling here today. You can see all this graffiti here. I love you all, I love you all. You are very nice to me. If I could, I would give you a present, but at the moment I have none. I have none, but one day maybe I'll be able to give you a present. So tell me your name in the comment section, where you are watching all this from, Europe, USA, Africa. Antarctica, South America, North America, Asia, Oceania, and Australia, or do you say Australia and Oceania? Is Greenland a country by itself, or it is a protectorate of Denmark? Trump want to buy it. I don't know if you'll be able to go through. So tell me where you are watching this video from. It's nice having you here. So one thing I noticed is that MAGA hats, or people who wear MAGA hats, they do so to grab public attention. If it's not in during the political season, they do so to attract public attention. And you see, when they're wearing it, they go looking around. Does someone look at me? Does someone even care what I'm wearing? Who gives a damn?
I'm so fucking sick of American culture war shit crossing the Atlantic and infecting the UK. You know, and I'm not just talking about the concepts, I'm talking about pressure groups, American pressure groups, who are funding shit in the US and now shit in the UK. We've seen it on the attacks on trans rights, we're seeing it on the attacks on reproductive healthcare rights, yeah? Their push to try and drive down the abortion term limits, and now we're seeing it on book bans. So I've just written an article on Substack that's about like de-escalation of American book bans and why we all need to be worried about it. And when I was doing the research for that, I came across this Guardian article that was published April this year that was saying there was an index on censorship survey that was done last year in which over half of the librarians they talked to had been asked to remove books from library shelves, many of which were LGBTQ plus titles. And this is the bit that really worries me. In more than half of those cases, the books were taken off the shelves. They complied. And all of this is apparently funded by the same people that are pushing for book bans in the US. And it makes me sick to my stomach. We know this is happening, we know where this is going, and yet we somehow seem powerless to stop it. Honestly, I'm losing my mind.
We are here in Charlbury with an absolutely huge turnout from the local population, people from the surrounding towns and villages who are here to make their voices heard to say that JD Vance is not welcome in the UK. People who feel so strongly they hate Donald Trump, they hate JD Vance, and we hate the way our government has been sucking up to this horrific regime in the United States that is enabling a genocide in Palestine, that is disappearing its own people off the streets, that is disrespecting freedom of speech and democratic norms. Nobody here wants to stand for it. We do not want these chummy, disgusting pictures of David Lammy fishing with JD Vance. The local people here want it to be absolutely known. They do not stand for that. JD Vance is not welcome here, and we need to see this kind of energy and even more when Donald Trump comes here on the 17th of September. We'll be gathering in London in our thousands. So if you can't make it to London, then do what the good folks of Charlesbury have done and gather in your local areas, because every single part of the country has to be loud and clear on September 17th. Donald Trump is not welcome in the UK.
Let me make one thing crystal fucking clear. I am not MAGA. I don't vibe with Trumpers. I don't wink at racists. And I sure as hell do not give bigots a safe space to spew their hate. Yet somehow, despite all of this, racist white people keep looking at me like I'm some secret handshake member of their little cult. What about me screams Trumper? Is it because I'm white? Is it because I don't wear my politics on my sleeve 24/7? What is it? Because I swear to God, I don't know what invisible MAGA radar these people are tuning into, but I want to shut it down immediately. I'm a personal trainer and I used to train my clients in person in their homes. Never brought up politics, never hinted at my views, just wanted to stay strictly professional. And yet, without fail, some of these people casually drop the N-word with a hard R, like they were asking me to pass the salt. Like I would just nod along like a racist yes man. I need to say something, and I'm gonna say this with my whole fucking chest. The second that shit comes out of someone's mouth, they are dead to me. No debate, no second chances. I don't care if you're a client, a coworker, or some fucking rando on the internet, you're done. I cut my own mother out of my life, in partly due to her racism. And not because she just made one questionable comment years ago, but because she doubled down and refused to change. In her favorite line, I was raised that way. That is the biggest fucking cop-out in human history. You were raised to be a hateful, small-minded bigot? Cool. Now grow the fuck up. We live in the age of Google. You can literally learn why racism is wrong in 5 seconds if you want to. And if you choose to stay racist, you're not a victim of your upbringing. You're just a fucking asshole. And to the people who keep thinking I'm MAGA, let me say this once. If I wanted to wear one of those stupid fucking red hats, I'd have one on. If I wanted to gargle Trump's balls, I would move close to Mar-a-Lago. And if I was tolerant of racism, I would still be talking to my mother. I don't, because I'm not one of you. And to the racists that keep making their way into my comment section, the second you reveal yourself, you're blocked. Done. Deleted. Erase. I don't argue. I don't engage. I don't give racists the attention they so badly crave. I starve you of it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Racists do not deserve a fucking voice. And they sure as hell are not going to get one on any of my social media platforms. If you think I'm MAGA, you're not paying attention. If you're racist, you're not welcome here. And if you're both, get fucked.
Scotland has a really proud record of protesting against tyranny, of protesting against some of the world's nastiest bullies, and that's ultimately what Donald Trump is, a nasty bully. People in Scotland protested against apartheid in South Africa. People in Scotland are protesting today against Israel's genocide in Palestine, and I think we need to make it absolutely clear to Donald Trump that he is not welcome in Scotland. We also need to send a signal to his victims and to victims of the kind of crimes that he's personally responsible for. He is arming and funding the state of Israel as it commits that genocide. I think we owe it to our friends in Palestine to show that we stand with them, not with him or the government of Israel. Donald Trump's a man who's bragged about committing sexual violence against women. I think every woman in Scotland who has survived sexual violence themselves should see all of their politicians united in condemning the world's most infamous sexual abuser.
But Donald Trump himself, he's not going to particularly care if the Greens and others protest his visit to Scotland, is he?
Donald Trump is a famously thin-skinned man. It is very easy to provoke a reaction from him. And what we've seen consistently is attempts to charm him fail because he is an unpredictable bully. The governments and other world leaders who've tried to charm him, to build a relationship with him, have usually crashed and burned in that attempt. What we need to show is strength, and what we need to show is a total moral opposition to Donald Trump's policies as president and to his personal behaviour. I think the very least that we can do is show women in Scotland who've survived sexual violence that we reject the world's most infamous sexual abuser coming here.
Man, they really don't want you paying attention to what's going on in Italy, do they? The entire country's on a general strike, and I mean all the ports, all the factories, everything is shut down. People refusing to go to work for a week because they're tired of Italy's government supporting, that country that if you talk about, your video doesn't go anywhere. So the people of Italy decided to stand up, and they went on a strike. They're supposed to be on strike for a whole week, and the entire country is screwed right now because they're on strike. And that's why Italy sent those 2 warships to go, defend that flotilla. It's not because Italy suddenly grew a conscience and their government suddenly cares. No, it's because the people of Italy have made a stand. They've shut down the entire country with a general strike. And the media here really doesn't want you to know that. They don't want you to know how effective it is if all of a sudden everybody agrees to stop going to work for a week. They don't want that idea getting out at all. And that's why none of the Western media has mentioned Italy at all. Fox isn't talking about it. MSNBC is not talking about it. CNN's not talking about it. You name it, no news media is talking about it. Because they're all corrupt and bought and paid for by the same billionaire class who wants to make sure you don't get any funny ideas.
So, one thing I like about you guys is that you are well informed. On that, I give you all the credit. You're well informed. And the other day, you saw Elon Musk supporting Tommy Robinson during this far-right protest in UK. So what MAGA is doing at the moment, they are trying to export their ideologies, their principles to Europe. I don't know if Europeans will buy it. Europeans will be able to buy it. And Trump said that the Europeans love him to the extent that they call him the president of Europe. Tell me in the comments if that is the truth. But I saw the other day even this Denmark summoned the US ambassador because some Americans were caught in Greenland trying to sway the opinion of Greenlanders to join America maybe as the 51st state or 52nd state. If Canada accepts to join US as a 51st state, I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Do you support that? So if you are in Europe, tell me what do you think about MAGA? Is the movement welcome in your continent? I did a video like this the other day, and there was this French guy who told me that American tourists went visiting to France. They were a group, and they were wearing this MAGA merchandise, shirts, hats, and this hotel owner refused to serve them. Yes, he refused to serve them. And even in UK, I saw some guys wearing this MAGA merchandise. They were refused entry to this gay bar. They were refused entry. And you saw again when J.D. Vance was in vacation in UK, these guys who are working in a restaurant refused to serve him. Somehow there is this like Europe-wide boycott of everything MAGA. So to put this into perspective, in the last century, Americans have been able to discover the internet, television, mobile phone, or maybe mobile phone came earlier, television, radio, aeroplane, right? But Europe is a land of science and culture because it gave us the likes of Marie Curie, the like of Albert Einstein, true. So one of the things that makes Americans ruthless, maybe it was maybe during the exploration of Wild West. Even though Americans and Europeans share maybe same origins, because you can see there is these some German Americans, Polish Americans, Scottish Americans, especially in the South, British, English Americans, right? Although we classify all of them as white, then there is a cluster of Asian Americans, Black Americans, African Americans. Yes, there is a difference between Black Americans and African Americans. There is a great difference. Maybe interact with them, you'll see there is a great difference. So there is this whole cluster, so which forms Americans. So in this whole group, there is MAGA Americans. So these are the guys who I don't know, maybe Europeans despise a lot. So tell me in the comments if you are from Europe, how do you think about MAGA Americans?